Hey guys, I wanted to post an update on what I've done so far on my game because it's been a few weeks now since I last posted an update. So I've been working, I've made a main menu and I've made tutorial level now is complete. I've also made um, a gameplay test, so like you can see like how abilities can be used like on enemies and how the AI interacts with the player. And I started working on the first part of level one. So level one will have six parts. So the my main focus first is to basically grey box, well, mostly grey box part one, and send out to people to play test, which I've done already with the last version of the game before the level was introduced. So that's the plan right now, is to kind of get like the parts of the levels working perfectly, and then from there I can start polishing up each part of the level before I progress and go into like part two, part three, and so forth. So the idea behind this is if I somehow, well, I'm highly likely to run out of time to do six parts. So I've got each part sort of designed out already so that I can work on it like one by one. And say, for example, I only get to like three or four parts, then I don't have to stress out about trying to polish up all the other parts if I design them before I polish them. So it's all for me right now. It's about grey boxing, getting the test out, and then from there doing the polishing, creating quick 3D models because the models don't take that long to make anyway, and then make sure that level is polished and pretty much complete, and then I can focus on the next part then. So sorry for rambling, but I just wanted to clear that up. Okay, so this is the main menu. I've created this really quick sort of like environment piece, which I just kind of wanted there for the time being because I'm gonna get somebody else to actually make a better one for me because I'm not gonna have time to make the concept art really. So not like a kind of polished kind of background. So I'm not gonna go too nuts with that. I've made like a quick main menu and I've got some instructions here because this was for the first play test of the game. So I just wanted to inform the players what to do when they were playtesting. So from here, you can press play game, but we're going to go to tutorial first. The white ones, the white text labels are the only ones you can actually go into right now. Actually, you can go into play game as well. So the shop is not active, but you can scroll over them. You can't actually go into it. Oh god. Yeah, so tutorial. So this is the tutorial level. You can actually skip any of the parts as well. I made this mostly for myself because I had to play test it a lot myself to kind of get it to work into this current state. So I wanted to continue just going through and testing it quickly rather than having to wait the allocated amount of time between each sequence. So we can easily just go through this now by pressing the spacebar and not waiting forever. And then the bits that you can't skip, like shooting the target, it won't have like the spacebar to skip that section on there. I can skip that bit as well, but not even for now. I'm gonna let it run. So I'm gonna keep letting the text run because you can see what I have at the moment. I found, well, I could have made went straight into like the kind of AI, but I wanted to make this kind of more of a almost like a sort of tutorial background sort of thing, rather than have enemies at this point. So this is the tutorial sort of section was pretty difficult to make because I have two different variants now where you can actually check like a boolean to see if you're playing in mobile or if you're playing on PC, because it's going to be for both. Um, I can show you that in a second. So yeah, but basically right click here to see what this ability does, and then you have more text, just kind of giving you more advice. And it just says about aiming at a tree and pressing the 3 key on your keyboard to see what it does. So that section would say something different with the mobile, but at the moment, yeah, I've just made it for PC. I'm gonna, before I polish off section 1 of the game, I'm gonna make sure the mobile port is all working as well. So now we can aim at one of these trees. I'm gonna just go this one and press 3, and we sort of like slingshot then towards the tree, and it kind of takes us in that direction. So like you need actually need power to do that. So now we need to use the 1 key to shoot the launcher. There's an actual, it did describe in the little section before, but there's a range on this. From the previous feedback, it has been noted that this could be helpful to kind of have like how far, like a kind of indicator of where the fall off point is, because right now we kind of have to guess, which if you play the game enough you'll kind of just know anyway, but I think having an indicator could be good, or maybe having the option to put on indicators. I think they have that in like Dota 2 and things like that. You have like an arrow indicator showing how far the ability can travel. And this is what the explosion does. If you hit in between here, it actually blows them all up in the air, so that's pretty neat. It happens with the other enemies as well. So now it tells us to fire the 2 key. It's a rapid fire and it depletes all of your ability power. So that's all of the abilities covered, and from there the player can basically either go back to the main menu or contest the gameplay, which brings us to this little bit. The enemies can't see us right now because I've introduced, oh, you can see them now, but I have a section where they can't, if they're hidden, they don't see you basically. And they actually hit quite accurately now. I haven't got a death animation for the player because I've only introduced the attacking quite recently. But it was pretty difficult actually to get the attacking to work properly, because like the last game I made, there's like line tracing is it is really good, but to the point where if you only have one trace, basically, um, is a bit dodgy, because what happens is you need to have like different points on the weapon, because it will just, for example, I have like 3 sockets on the weapons right now, and before I only had 1, so the 1 would be on the tip, and the tip would like be going over here somewhere. So we needed to make like a sort of like a half circle kind of effect, and that way it picks up the hitbox sort of a lot easier. Sorry. That way the enemies attack us. Also, I had to make the enemies, when they actually get aggroed, that they become, obviously this is pretty nuts because I haven't been calling them and they just been spawning in. But yeah, when they aggro, they become a lot faster than the player does. And the reason for that is I want the game to be like really fast paced, but at the same time, because the enemy stutters a little bit before he attacks, what happens is well, essentially his movement speed is lowered, so you could always outrun the enemies. So when you outrun the enemies, it becomes a bit of a nuisance, because you will never you'll never take damage. And I also had to increase the damage, because originally I had like 10 damage per like swing like that hit you, but that became an issue because it would just take way too long for the enemies to kill you, and I thought that was a bit rubbish. So I had it so now the enemies kill you in 3 hits, so you have to be a bit more wary of that. No idea what's going on here. Leave that for now. Sort that out later, because it's not an issue inside the gameplay itself. Not gameplay, sorry. Inside the level itself. So in the level, I have started making the design that I have on paper onto the part 1. This will be a bridge. I haven't modeled it yet. This will be a chest. I haven't modeled it yet. Rocks and things like that. So I'm just designing sort of like the grey box sort of zone for now, and then from there I'll start creating some models for this area. So these grassy areas are basically hiding spots. So I've got like a blueprint that basically when a player's inside he gets hidden, but it all kind of ties in then with like what the enemy's controller does. So the enemy controller detects the player, but when you're hidden he doesn't, essentially. That's the quickest way to explain it. But if the enemy sees you and you try and go back inside the grass, he will always see you because he's already detected you. And until he dies, you can't re-enter the grass, basically. So from here, oh, I also forgot to explain that as soon as an enemy hears that you've shot them or takes damage, they basically run at you and they'll always trace you, basically. So this is like the hidden section, so you can hide. I wanted to kind of implement like a sort of hiding mechanic, so you see me there, because what that does is it allows for it's kind of like sort of better. It gives the player like more options to just kind of vary up their play style. So you can either hide and then sort of come up to this character and kill him this way, or you could basically just go up to him straight away and kill him this way. So you could either be more risky and just kill enemies, or you could try and hide if that's what you want to do. So right now, that when I explained about when you kill the enemy that sees you, you should go back invisible. Right now it's setting back to it's not allowing me to go back in the grass, so I'm gonna have to look into that again, because it was working yesterday, so I'm not really sure what's happening at the moment. And then these little boxes here are chests. So that one enemy that was patrolling this area, he's the only enemy that will have a key on him. You can't see the key visually at the moment, but this actually works, because what I've done is added a reference to key drop here, and we have to tie in which chest it is. So these enemies, sorry, up here, for example, they have chest none, so they have no references, so they can't open any, they won't drop anything. But this guy will always drop a key, so that treasure chest can then be opened. I'll show you what I mean now. So for example, I'll just kill this guy. I should actually show you what happens if I don't kill him. So if, say, you're being stealthy and you want to just get this treasure chest, then it'll say it's locked, and yeah, you can't do anything until you grab it, basically, which it just says is unlocked. It's a bit quick though, so, but it is actually unlocked now, and treasure will shoot out. I'll show you at the moment what the treasure shooting out looks like. Go away. Yeah, you got these like little balls that shoot out in different directions. So That's gonna be how it's not quite like the kind of like Diablo kind of style, but I kind of like the kind of the explosion of kind of like loot, and that's kind of what I wanted for that. So I think I did want to show something. The hide, not the hiding actually. I did want to show. I can't remember what I want to show, but I got loads of different. Like for example, for a lot of these I have like tags. So like anything that has a tag that's navigable can be like shoot. You can shoot your this hook towards basically. So if, for example, I try and navigate towards this block, nothing happens because I haven't added the tag yet. Same with enemies. Enemies have tags, which is quite good because you can just do things through tags rather than complicate the code too much and repeat lines of code basically. So yeah, that's what I have at the moment. Gonna next few days, gonna finish off part one. Uh, well, I'm doing it today and the next few days basically. So I should be able to finish off part one and get people to playtest, and hopefully by the end of the week I should start be able to polish off parts of the mechanics and level one. Then I will go on and continue adding in mobile elements and having a really good sort of like first section to the game. That way we can continue then to make other parts of the levels. Yeah, so it's not just limited to one level, basically. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you liked the video or you like my content so far, and hit the bell notification if you want to see more content in the future. Thanks for watching guys, bye.